Another major milestone for Auston Matthews. Sid and the Pens scratch and claw to stay alive. Quinn Hughes continues to make his case for the Norris. Wait till you hear what Conor Garland thought of his name being chanted in Vancouver. And if there was any doubt at all before it's official, do not mess with Marc-Andre Fleury, because payback is a You're not going to believe what he did to a former teammate's car. All right, let's get to it. Auston Matthews facing Crosby and the Pens, and his assault on the NHL record books continues.
It's fired back to Matthews. Scores! 65!
70 just seems like a crazy number, but like you said, he could do it.
His 65 goals ties Alex Ovechkin for the most in a single season by any active player. So Matthews is now 5 away with 5 to play. The Leafs beat the Pens in overtime to move within 3 points of Florida in the battle for second in the Atlantic Division. Toronto's got a game in hand, and they've got a game in Florida a week from today. That game could very well decide if the Leafs or the Panthers get home ice in the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Also with that point that Sid and the Pens earned in the overtime loss, they've now gone 9 straight games without a regulation loss, and they move into a tie with the Red Wings for the second wildcard spot in the East. But Detroit's got a game in hand, so the playoff spot is currently theirs. However, the Pens and Wings go head-to-head in Detroit on Thursday night. How tight are things in the fight for the final 2 playoff spots in the Eastern Conference right now? The Islanders, Wings, Pens, Caps, and Flyers, that's 5 teams separated by just 2 points, battling for only 2 playoff spots. That's crazy. Any one of those teams could finish as high as 3rd in the division, or they could miss the playoffs entirely. Meanwhile, in the West, Quinn Hughes continues to make his case for the Norris. He had a goal and 2 points as the Canucks beat Vegas in what could be a preview of an opening round matchup in the playoffs. Hughes has already hit career highs in goals and assists and now leads Cale Makar by 4 points by defenseman and by 26 in plus-minus. And how about Conor Garland? He had 2 goals, including his 100th career goal in his 400th career game. Garland has seen some serious ups and downs during his time in Vancouver, and he's come under fire. So this moment after the game was pretty special for him.
I might go down as the worst player ever to have their name chanted in a stadium.
Garland having some fun with the moment. Speaking of having fun, Garland's teammates had some fun with him on his big day. JT Miller had T-shirts made up to mark the occasion of his 400th game. When Garland got to the game day skate, everyone was wearing one with his mug on the front. Speaking of pranks, we saw one for the ages yesterday. Marc-Andre Fleury and Brandon Duhaime spent the better part of the last 3 seasons playing together in Minnesota. Then just before the trade deadline, the Wild sent Duhaime to the Avs. Last week, Duhaime made his first trip back to Minnesota since the trade. He fancies himself a bit of a prankster. He knows what Fleury's car looks like, and he knows where it's parked. So, while his buddy Marc-Andre Fleury was stopping pucks at practice, Duhaime was busy toilet papering his entire car.
I think it might be one of our old teammates, Brendan Duhaime, maybe.
Oh, he's going to get it so bad.
I don't have anything to do with it. Duhaime?
He's an old friend. Well, still kind of friend, yeah. Down there some days. You know what? I'm pretty proud of Brendan Duhaime, right? I'm kind of proud of him though. He did a good job. Well done. The thing he's got to learn though is like we're going back to Colorado next week.
For his part, Duhaime pled his innocence.
Do you have anything to do with this? I haven't seen it. I heard he's got beef with a few guys, so that's a good one. I like whoever did that.
Duhaime has a couple of years in the NHL. He's pulled off some nice pranks. But Marc-Andre Fleury, he's been around for 20 years. The man is a veteran and seriously committed prankster. As a matter of fact, he's been known to take things to a completely different level. So did you really want to mess with Fleury? When Fleury and the Wild arrived in Colorado yesterday, it was time to settle the score. And Duhaime immediately realized messing with Marc-Andre Fleury was a huge mistake.
No security here, right? What do we pay these guys for? What do we do? I don't know how to change a tire. Really? I need a ride home. We're going to deal with this.
Now that's taking things to an entirely different level. Not only is Fleury not denying who did it, he actually made a trip specifically to the Garden Center to personally sign his work. The Flower wanted to make sure the kid knew exactly who was responsible.